So, welcome everyone to today's Masters in Journalism information session. I am a JP here, so I'm a student as well as I'm working alongside the admissions department with our director of admissions, who is going to introduce herself now.
Yeah. So my name is Nellie. I'm the director of admissions. Yeah, I think I have the on one slide I introduced myself. But yes, I'm really excited to be holding this session. I think a lot of the names here seem familiar, so you may have joined other sessions previously. But yeah, thank you for joining us today. For the agenda today, we'll do we we'll walk through key aspects of the program, starting with an introduction to Berkeley journalism and what sets us apart. We'll then cover program admissions requirements, funding opportunities, and give you the chance to hear from our current students during the Q&A panel session. And then we'll wrap up, share ways to stay connected with us, and highlight upcoming events so that you guys can engage with our community. So yeah, let's get started.
All right, thank you, Nelly. So, just quickly, or talking a little bit about our mission. So, our mission is to expand the worldwide impact of truth-seeking, fact-based, and inclusive journalism by training the next generation of diverse journalists to become exceptional storytellers and industry leaders. So that manifests it's in so many different ways in our school, and we'll be talking about that and relating back to this mission statement as we go along. So, who are we? Well, we're not just faculty and staff. We are a diverse cohort of a lot of people. Here you have a lot of people, like the top left, is our staff. Blaine, who is the director of student services, all the way to the left. He's an amazing person, as well as Betsy, the individual all the way to the right in that top left photo. She's our guidance counselor, our advisor with a lot of like post graduation ambitions and internship ambitions. And that's just to give a quick sentiment of like, there's a lot of people who are here at the school who are really looking forward to helping out students and being there for both their time in the J school as well as preparing them for careers afterwards. So as we move along, this is my cohort. So you're actually going to meet a few people in this photo a little bit later. I am the one in the green hoodie on the top left half of the picture. But our cohort ranged about 56 people, 57-ish people. And that tends to be the typical range for our classes every year. You have a lot of people who do come from California or from the United States, but there's also a lot of international perspective that gets that is included within our cohorts. Nelly, go ahead.
Yeah, and we'd also love to get to know you and know where you all are joining us from today. So feel free to share the city, state, or country in the chat. And, we're always excited to see the wide range of places that our prospective students are coming from. So yeah, just take a moment to, or I know a lot of you are current students. So, what school you're coming from. Or have recently graduated from. Again, yeah, just we want to get to know you all as well and speak to your experiences in the student panel.
I think as I worked as a tour guide, because I did my undergrad here at Berkeley, I think when I worked as a tour guide for all 4 years, the most exciting place someone was from Kazakhstan, and I was just like, oh wow, like you flew just to Berkeley to visit, and it was a really cool way to just like get to know this person as they were just touring around the school. So yeah, like Nelly said, feel free to put in the chat. Uh, tell us where you're from. All right. So moving on to a little bit about Berkeley journalism specific. So why UC Berkeley? So um, we're a top public university here in California, in the United States, and globally. So you really do gain a competitive edge. I remember being an undergrad and cold emailing a lot of professors or people I was doing research on, and having that Berkeley name attached to your email is something that is really useful, as well as the location. Most people know us to be here in the Bay Area. So from the beautiful wine country of Napa Valley down to the tech heart of maybe the world, if not at least the United States of Silicon Valley. And California really is an amazing place to not only experience the weather, which is a nice 60 degrees more or less, but also just a great melting pot of so many different cultures and perspectives, that you really do get a sense of a little taste of the world from in so many different ways. Nelly, do you want to take this part?
Sure. So, what makes us different? We are purely focused on journalism. So we here only represent the graduate school, UC Berkeley Graduate School of Journalism. So we offer one holistic program that delves into various media platforms, which include, we'll talk more about that, but audio, narrative writing, documentary, what are the other ones I'm missing? I'm always missing a
Audio, photography,
media
documentary,
and
multimedia.
photojournal. Yes, exactly. I know five is a lot to remember. So so we offer this one holistic program. So when you apply, we do also offer concurrent degrees in with Asian Studies and Master of Public Health. But again, we're purely focused on journalism and really want to encourage people with a passion for journalism to apply. Um, so we are also at UC Berkeley. We take great pride in ensuring that our graduate students, who overall represent over 129 countries and all 50 US states, have a full yet balanced experience during their time here. Berkeley is committed to encouraging and supporting students of all backgrounds on campus and fostering a welcoming climate that lets everyone thrive. So again, that is definitely something we care a lot about, and it's also something we emphasize in the application, in our essays and in the personal video. And we're small and tight knit. So compared to other programs, for example, Columbia, we enroll, as Andres mentioned, the incoming class was 56, but generally we're in the 50 to 60 students that we enroll each year. So total, 120 students are on campus, but in your cohort, you would be around 55 to 60 students. So again, we are a very tight knit group. This also ensures that, our community is very inclusive, and that we, with small class sizes, you will develop strong bonds with your diverse community of student fellows, faculty, and staff. Lastly, we believe, as a two-year Master of Journalism program, that it takes time to learn the skills that you'll need. And so our program is designed to help launch or advance your career in journalism by learning from top industry professionals across the media platforms we mentioned. And also, this will give you time to build a comprehensive portfolio of published work, through classes, completing an internship, and more. And our faculty, alumni, and career services team are here to help ensure that you build your skill sets in journalism and storytelling, to help you find the right role after you graduate.
Yeah, shout out to Betsy one more time. All
Yes,
right.
career development director. She is amazing, very well connected, and yeah, we're all very committed to your success here. So.
I, yeah, I definitely feel it, even having just been a first year student who enrolled this past or this August, just really feeling a lot of that support system come through. Um, but now let's talk about why you need a support system here at the J School. Well, our curriculum and our courses really reflect our philosophy of learning by doing. And students are offered so many different platforms in order to express or to pursue their careers in journalism. But let's break down a few things. First, it's a 2-year program, like Nelly has been talking about, and it's a STEM master's degree. So a master's in journalism, and it's classified as a STEM program because of the amount of work that's related behind it, especially if you're doing tracks like multimedia, which I'll get a little bit more into a little bit later. Your first year, you are going to be focusing on a few key classes. So one is J200. It's intensive introduction to reporting. You can ask any of our panelists right now. It really is like no matter what skill set that you have coming in as a journalist, whether that's none or that's a few decades of experience, J200 is really meant to be that catalyst to like grow your journalism experience, grow as a reporter. And that's the main crucial class that everyone's going to tell you that you have to focus on your first semester here on campus. You have research methods, which is a way it's a class, more of a lecture style with all the students, where you are learning ways in order how to do research, whether that's contacting libraries, databases, think tanks, or even just like how to look at a spreadsheet, how to analyze it, how to bring out ways in order to have the spreadsheet talk to you. Then you have law and ethics, which is coming up in the spring semester for our cohort. So that is our ethics right now. Law is in the spring cohort, and learning about what are those ethical moments as a journalist when you go in for an interview, or being able to be a respectful, ethical journalist, as well as the laws behind it. Your second semester, you have a little bit more of an opportunity to explore classes, get clips. So if anyone doesn't know what clips are, those are pretty much pieces that you've published, reported on, etc. And they do build up your portfolio as a journalist. And you also have the opportunity to take specialization classes that can also build into that portfolio. And as well, in between your internship, which is a graduation requirement, you have to complete 300 hours in order to fulfill the requirements of the master's program. Typically, students take it in that summer between their first year and their second year. However, it's not limited to just that. You can take it alongside your spring semester or maybe alongside your fall semester, but that is a requirement that is put on all students here at the J School. And as a very crucial thing, if you have other and different topics that you might be interested in interning at, our coordinator Betsy, she's really helpful, and as well as working with Blaine, our the director of student services, also super helpful in order to like demystify some of that. Your second year, your third semester, you're going to work closely with your advisor on your multimedia. Oh, no, sorry, not multimedia. On your thesis capstone. So every single track in our program has a specific requirement for that capstone to be met. And you're going to be working with that advisor, taking those specialized classes that really help to inform that way, that method of communication that you've learned here at the J School. And then the fourth semester, it might just sound like, oh, I'm finishing my thesis, and you take classes. It's still a very stressful time because you are trying to work on that capstone. But that just because it's stressful doesn't mean you don't have support, and doesn't mean that you have all these other opportunities. It's just really making sure that your capstone, your thesis, is real good. So I've been talking about the specializations. I want to make this very clear. So as you're applying to the J School, you are applying into one of five breadths. So, and that could either include documentary, narrative, audio, photo, or multimedia. Um, the biggest thing about this is, and I think a slight misconception that I've heard is that, oh, I can choose to do, like, let's say multimedia, or I can choose to do something like in our topical area, like investigative reporting. No, the tracks are the medium in which you're going to be reporting. So like for myself, I'm a multimedia student, which means I'm going to be working on multimedia projects and reporting in through that medium. And that's what I applied as. Also, on top of that, documentary, because of the intense requirements for students to complete all the parts of documentary, as well as being really successful in that track, you must apply directly to it. It's not like, oh, I'm going to apply as a photojournalist student, but then I changed my mind and I want to go into documentary. You're going to have to play catch up, or the class size. We're already a small class, right? So like Nelly said, just under 60 students, and then to all of a sudden have more students join documentary when there's a select number of like courses that are intent for that cohort, you have to apply directly into it. Now, you do have the option to say, I want to do documentary as my number one thing, but maybe multimedia as like my second option. That's in the application process. That's completely fine. And you are going to be reviewed for those interests of yours. But yeah, documentary, um, you're going to want, oops, slight lagging. Documentary, you're going to want to have that showcase that experience, apply to it directly rather than try and do it informally to the side. Um, and since I kind of mentioned it, our topical area. So you have the medium in which you're going to communicate as a journalist, right? Now, in the topical areas in which you can like specialize a little bit more, you can do something like the investigative reporting program. So we have a reporting, almost like news desk, a program here associated with Berkeley and the J School, and they're really good with doing those long form, intensive investigative pieces as journalists. But it's not something that you apply into. It's a class and it's a process in which you do over time here at the J School. You have data reporting, which is something that I am pursuing, club that I just started, as well as classes to get those skills as a data journalist, climate reporting as well, health and science reporting. Like classes and specializations to focus in on your journalism, right? Pardon me, business reporting. So we have a new business journalism certificate that is partnered alongside our Haas School of Business. Um, and you take 3 courses in order to say, look, I have my certificate. I can report on business confidently, right? And we also have another area of specialization, which would be the reporting on incarceration. So once again, these topical areas are not something you apply to, but they're more as you're going through the J school, you are slowly building up your interest and your portfolio as to, hey, I'm a multimedia student, but I really want to go into climate reporting. And then you're using those skills as a multimedia student to eventually go into that topical area. Nelly, did you want to add anything?
No, no, that's great.
All right. So next,
Yeah.
next, go ahead, Nelly.
Sure. Berkeley Journalism's diverse faculty and lecturers bring a wealth of experience and perspectives from across the globe, with backgrounds in investigative reporting, social justice, multimedia storytelling, and environmental journalism. They include Pulitzer Prize winners, Emmy Award recipients, and leaders in digital and print media. So again, this group is deeply committed to teaching students to report on underrepresented communities and crucial social issues. You can see again the list of students, list of faculty here, and some of the head of tracks. So as Andres mentioned, for example, Jerry Rue would be the head of track for the multimedia track. So you can, feel free if you do have questions or want to learn more from our head of tracks. We'll actually be having some other info sessions as part of the open house event series. They will be, you can attend them either in person or virtually. And so they will be covering and delving deeper into, an overview of the various tracks. So you can learn more from, Jerry Mayrew about multimedia, Alina Konis from on the narrative writing track, and so forth. So yeah, just be aware that those events are up and you can register for those events as those will be held virtually as well as in person. Um,
Yeah,
yeah, anything, yeah. And then again, our lecturers, um, again, they include, for example, Julian Glover, an award-winning anchor and reporter at ABC 7 News, who leads the station's race, culture, and social justice coverage. John D. Hardin is a data reporter at the Washington Post and uses data-driven storytelling to reveal the hidden impact of issues like gentrification and crime. Sarah Ravani, a reporter with the SF Chronicle, covering Oakland and the East Bay, where she focuses on housing, homelessness, and public safety. So the list really goes on. But again, our lectures really add bring a wealth of experience and industry insight. And many of them are also accomplished alums from UC Berkeley journalism themselves. So it is really adding to the breadth of our program and the issues that you can delve deeper into and continue to specialize in. Our alumni. So again, speaking about our alumni, for example, 5 alums and one of our multimedia lectures were named finalists for the Gerald Loeb Awards for Distinguished Business and Financial Journalism this year. 2 alums and one faculty member were honored at the NABJ, National Association of Black Journalists convention this summer in Chicago for Salute to Excellence Awards. We have 8 alums that were named among named exceptional journalists and documentarians, named nominees for news and documentary Emmy Awards. So again, we the list goes on. And again, this is just this year, but just award-winning work that our alumni are contributing to, and yeah, that hopefully again, you will be connected with and have access to during your time here as a student, and when this network of alumni that you will, have moving forward in your careers. So, yeah.
yeah. Now let's talk about funding, Nelly. So
Do
tuition
you
and
want
fees.
to? Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, so tuition and fees. So basically, um, Tuition is going to be, as you can see right here, this is available on the registrar.berkeley.edu website for more information. But for the master's in journalism, you are going to have to pay as a resident of California. Now, that's the important part. So, as a California resident, that left column indicates everything associated with fees coming out to being about $15,671. And that includes something called the professional degree supplemental tuition. So because we are a professional degree program here at Cal, that's what's being included for those tuition and fees. And then because we are a public school in California, that's why in the non-resident section, there is a non-resident supplemental tuition. This is just to be very transparent with the cost of our program. That way people can have an understanding of what it is. And this is per semester. So tuition and fees per semester. Investing in it though, and investing in your future. So start and plan early to understand where you can locate funding options. So there's scholarships, obviously, grants, fellowships, federal, state loans, concurrently that you can all apply for as you're also applying for the master's in journalism. So we have on the website the graduate division grad.berkeley.edu. There is a guide to fellowships and grants. And even if you go on the website, funding my education, there is an option to find that there. And that is coming from the step above us, the graduate division of UC Berkeley. And there's also additional fellowships to consider. So you can find these on our page. So at the School of Journalism's website, funding your education here at Cal. We have some notable fellowships, grants, scholarships that are available to some students. Nelly also went ahead and put that in the chat for anyone that would like to access them from here. Moving on from that. Oh, actually, and consider any additional costs unique to you. So, as an international student, for example, you may want to leave during the breaks, or maybe you have other such like amenities or stuff that you need to take care of. So, calculate that into your budget as you're finding these funding opportunities and what you may apply for. So, for the first year, there's departmental aid, and it's mainly merit based as well as need based. So for those who may not encounter these terms before, merit based is upon the work and reflection upon the work that you're doing. And there's also need based, which is more upon your financial circumstance and a situation. These two are mainly taken into consideration for students who have expressed this financial difficulty, as well as a lot of departmental aid at the J School. It has been graciously donated by donors and a lot of fundraising. But that also means that are some ties. So, for example, as a California school, there are some pools of funding for California students specifically, which helps them out a little bit more. And then there's also pools of funding that is only based for United States-based students. And then there's not too much left over for international students, but that shouldn't mean that you're discouraged to apply. There is still pools of funding to help students from different backgrounds. Student loans, so domestic students should apply for the FAFSA or DREAM Act, which is a California specific student loan program. As it opens on December 1st, and priority for funding is on that March 3rd, but we highly encourage all students to turn it in as soon as you can, because that also helps with our funding side to be able to distribute funding to you once acceptances come out. For university employment, so you're also during your first year, typically not your first semester, because you need to get a little bit of navigating through the Berkeley campus. The academic student employment means you're either like helping out in a classroom, grading stuff, or teaching in class. Those are opportunities to get tuition remission, as well as getting a stipend for working every month as like this instructor alongside professors and faculty and staff. But there's so many different external awards and funding that are out there for journalists. Sometimes you can look at like the National Association of Black Journalists, Hispanic Journalists, NLGJA, the National Lesbian Gay Journalists Association, for those funding opportunities as well. And second year is very similar with those departmental aids, student loan opportunities, academic employment on campus, as well as if you're living in California, you will then start to register as a California resident, which means that second year you may be eligible to be able to remove that non-residential fee that's added onto your tuition. Did you want to add anything else, Nelly?
Yeah, I also included it in the chat, but just something to keep in mind and reinforce is that you must submit your completed application. So again, it needs to be completed by that first round priority application deadline of December 16th. If you're applying for the concurrent degree, that deadline is December 2nd. Um, all admitted students are automatically, so if you apply by that December 16th deadline, then and you are admitted, you'll automatically be considered for merit-based departmental funding. For any need-based departmental funding, you must complete that departmental grant application section and also complete FAFSA. So that is something where, as we discussed, as Andres mentioned, it opens December 1st, but make sure to do that as soon as it's open, so that once your application's reviewed, that you can be considered for any need-based funding as well. And then, yeah, so those are just make sure that you complete those sections if funding is really going to be important in your decision making.
Amazing. Also, and a little bit more about other opportunities for funding on campus. So in the IRP, the Investigative Story Reporting Program, once you get a foothold here at the J School, you have the ability to become a student reporter working on someone's project, helping them out. There's a Media Institute, freelancing, so creating content for other publications in the area, or like a few of our students now have worked with the Guardian, have done photo stuff for like the Chronicle or like the New York Times. That's a freelance way that they've been also been able to generate funding for themselves. Once again, academic student employment. It's a lot of grad students really do participate and find that balance between getting that funding and that job, and as well as uh, continuing their studies here at the J School. There's being a course tutors, J peers, which is what I'm doing. So like working with the admissions department to help out, and that's also a source of funding. Post graduation, pardon me, there's also the Berkeley, California Local Journalism Fellowship, which is an opportunity to um, receive funding from the state on fellowships in California and working with like local teams in order to have that local coverage, which is super important for a lot of communities, but they're not necessarily always able to get because of financial barriers. But California partners with the J School in order to have this happen and have local journalists or journalists go to these areas and cover them. So, when is it the best time to apply? Now, please apply. um, because we got a generous gift of $10 million earlier this year. It marks the largest gift in Berkeley journalism's history. That's going towards student awards, so like those funding packages, travel reporting grants. So like I hopefully will be traveling to Latin America reporting for one of our classes over there. That's where that goes as well. Internship funding opportunities. So if you find an internship that you really like, but it's just unpaid, the J School will do its best to provide you with that funding so you could pay for a rent or pay for other amenities, right? There's also emergency funds when absolutely necessary and much more. So there really is this is a great time to apply to the J School, help us distribute this funding to as many people as possible for the next generation of journalists, right? So and actually I'll go back to that one more time. Reemphasis. December 15th is our first round of priority, is our first deadline for priority funding and aid to students. Please don't consider that as like, oh, okay, it's far off. We're about to enter November, and I highly suggest to every student, say to yourself, December 1st, December 2nd is the day that I need to turn in my application, because then you have that 2 week period where if something goes wrong, whether it's with your recommender or whether it's something that you have to rewrite, or God forbid your dog eats your like statement of purpose or something, um, you have that time to be able to shift and pivot, as well as reach out to like myself and my counterpart Ruchi or Nelly for more advice or like ways that we can help you out, because we are here to help through this whole process. The final deadline for admissions is in January, but you want to really hit that first round of that first deadline for the journalism school. Now, there's the opportunity to receive application fee waivers. If you're a U.S. citizen, or current permanent resident, there is a non-refundable application fee of $135. Everyone else it's 155, but the fee waivers are mainly for students or U.S. citizens and permanent residents who are demonstrating that financial need to us, talking with us, that it is available on the graduate admissions office website, where as you're going through the process, you can type in fee waiver, graduate division Berkeley, and you can request one depending on your circumstance or the case that you make. You can contact them about why you should be able to receive a fee waiver. If you don't qualify or meet the eligibility requirements from the graduate division, email us at journalism underscore admissions at berkeley.edu, because we really don't want finances and funding to be an obstacle to your education. So reach out to us and we're going to try and work the best that we can to help you out. All right. Um, and yeah, connect with our Berkeley journalism students. So your next steps, start and explore the application. Here's a QR code. We all love QR codes, right? Um, and connect with us on our upcoming events. So like Nelly mentioned at the very beginning, we will be having an open house series. We also have our J Peers weekly drop-in admissions office hours, where you either will find myself or Ruchi, or I've seen some people here already. Hello to everyone who is not tired of my voice yet. Um, we are more than happy to be here to like walk through application steps or like questions that you might have, obstacles and challenges that pop up during the application process. So the sooner you start your application, we're there to work on alongside you to meet those to help resolve them. Did you want to add anything else, Nelly?
No, if you go to the next slide, you'll see a little more about the upcoming events, which Andres touched on. The November 8th, there'll be a joint J School panel info session. So we'll be it'll be held by UC Berkeley, but in collaboration with Columbia, CUNY, and Syracuse. So definitely recommend signing up and registering for that. And that'll be 10 to 11:30 a.m. So if you're an international student, then you'll also be, hopefully able to join at that time. But I know most of you are domestic students today. And then, yeah, the open house, again, those events are both online and in person. So if you are in the area or you're in California, you want to just like, save the date and plan to come for that week or one of those days, then please do. But again, the info sessions will all be held virtually as well. So no worries if you're unable to make it to campus, but you are also welcome to come to campus any other time. So if you want to come to visit, the dates don't work for you, please do reach out to us and we can help to arrange a campus visit, sit in on a class, connect with a current student. So yeah, please don't hesitate to reach out to us. Yeah, to connect with us.
It's an intimidating thing, right? I'm a first generation college student, and then on top of that, doing my master's. So we really are trying to work to make sure that if there's any confusions or doubts or stuff that like you just want an answer to, literally ask us questions, reach out to us. We are here to like help to demystify the process bit by bit. So we're going to move on to our current student panel as we talk about demystifying everything. So that is me, as working on multimedia as my track, as well as data reporting. But we also have, and I am going to spotlight them. So they should have their cameras on in a second. We have Haiti Barajona, who is, let me actually stop sharing too. Thank you, thank you. All right. We have Haiti, who she is also a first year. I don't know if you want to introduce yourself. Go ahead and introduce yourself, Haiti, so I don't steal your spotlight.
All right, I'm Haiti. I'm a first year student at the J School, and I'm on the narrative track. And I'm from Bakersfield, California.
Awesome. Next, we're gonna have Sarah come in. All right. Go ahead, Sarah, whenever you're ready.
Okay. Hi, everyone. I am also a first year narrative track student at the J School, and I just moved here from Denver, Colorado this year.
Ooh, go Colorado, the Mile High City. And then here we have Marquise.
Hi guys, my name is Marquise. Born and raised here in Oakland, California. I'm a first year. Let me add that, and I am on the multimedia track. So, it's been nothing but good vibes. So,
All right, nothing but good vibes, Marquise. If you have any questions, so this is going to be a chat and a quick panel with us. For those who might be accustomed to our J Peers chats, this is more or less how it's going to go. But I'll start off with a few questions, just get the ball rolling. And then we'll try and keep our answers pretty tight just to make sure that if anyone in the audience has questions, they're welcome to ask. You can type it, or if you have a longer question, you feel free to let us know and we can unmute you to have that conversation. Nelly, I'm going to stop spotlighting you. And then if you want to lurk in the background, go ahead. All right. We're going to get started with our first question. So, no pressure. But why did you feel Berkeley journalism was the right fit for you so soon after undergrad? Because if I'm not mistaken, everyone here on the panel had just graduated from undergrad and went into journalism. And how did it align with your goals in journalism and pursuing a career there? So, did anyone want to take that first?
I'll go first here.
Go ahead, Marquise.
Yeah, and so yeah, I like Andres' question. So for me, I was finishing my undergrad in Atlanta, and finished that in December of 2021. I was in a place of like didn't know what I wanted to do. Knew I wanted to do journalism, but reality hit, bills have to be paid. And yeah, that. But then I started having conversations with my friends about feeling like stagnant in my life. And I was wondering, okay, well, they said, what about going to grad school? And I was like, okay, I teased at the idea of moving back. And so I started looking up grad programs and I looked at Berkeley's grad program and looked at their mission statement, looked at, alumni. I talked to the lecturers, I talked to student alumni from who had just graduated from the previous cohort, and it's all started to align really well with what I wanted to do, which was become a Bay Area journalist, become a Bay Area sports journalist, and just tell stories in that realm. And so and I looked at Berkeley journalism as the way to do that for me, and it just aligned perfectly with what I wanted to do. You know, being from the Bay Area, being back in the Bay Area. So
Awesome. Thank you.
that was kind of like long-winded. Sorry.
I love hearing you talk, Marquise. We're both in our multimedia class together, and it's always fun to be with him. um, who wants to go next?
I can go. So I feel like I kind of like resonate with what Marquise was saying because I also was a little bit unsure about what I wanted to do after my undergrad. And so I always thought that I was going to just like go into the work or go into the field and then eventually I'll go back to school. But I got an email from the J school actually. And so I also started doing like my research about the school. And I think one of the things that really stood out to me was that we would be doing local reporting, which my goal has always been to either like cover just like broadly like equity in California or education equity in California specifically, or just go back into my community and do reporting on my community in the Central Valley. So that was really big for me. And also the other thing was that during my undergrad, I studied communications. And so I probably had like one professor who was a practicing journalist. So being able to kind of work with people who are also practicing journalists as your professors and stuff, that was also a really big factor into why I chose Berkeley.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. Thank you for letting us know. Sarah?
Yeah, so I spent my whole life living in Colorado, which is stuck in between the middle of like everything else going on in the country. And I knew I wanted to go to grad school, but my two like biggest options were Columbia or Berkeley. And I realized I really didn't want to live on the East Coast. I didn't really like the work-life balance. And then I also did a lot of research like everyone else did, and found that I really liked Berkeley's approach. It seemed very like holistic. The funding packages were better. And I also had a friend at the same time I was applying who was at Columbia, not to like disbar them or anything, but they were just having a really hard time in the master's program there. And even though it was part-time. And I just really wanted to go somewhere where I knew like I was cared for, and not in a gigantic cohort of over 100 people. So
Hmm. Well, I
it
guess
just
that's a,
worked out.
I mean, I'm glad to see you all the time. Sorry, the dog is making an appearance. I know, I love you too, mamas. Um, what's it called? Sarah, or actually everyone on the panel, what was your undergrad like degree in? What I specialize in political science and Latin American languages and cultures. So I'm not a journalist by undergrad training at all. How about you, Sarah?
I went for journalism and I have my minor in history.
Katie? You said you were in communications, but was there anything else?
Yeah, just communications, but my concentration was in journalism.
Hmm.
And yeah, my I did my undergrad in journalism with a minor in sociology, actually. So
Hmm. Well, I feel a little bit like the odd one out, but I do want to say that I not necessarily because I came here for undergrad. If anything, that was more motivation for me to apply to Columbia and go there. But the funding package for me was a lot better. And having been a student that didn't do journalism, I really did like the approach of a 2-year program, where it felt like as fast paced as the journalism industry could be, there was still the time that was being taken as a completely new reporter to learn all the skills or to reformat the skills that I had as a social scientist and turn it into a reporter. All right. Next question. So before I actually move on, any questions from the chat? Any questions from our lovely audience of folks?
There is a question from Ava. Do you
Go
see
ahead.
it? Uh,
I think it was probably a private message to you.
oh, okay. So from Ava, hi, I have a question about the investigative reporting program and how students are able to get involved. Is it something extra that students can do in addition to their specialization track? Are all students able to participate? Thank you.
Anyone want to tackle that?
so I'm not a investigative reporter, but I do believe that we have a building like just for investigative reporting called the IRS. I forgot what
The
the
the IRP, the Investigative Reporting Program.
IRP, and um I believe they be having like applications going out for people to join and do that.
I, um, so the investigative reporting program, there's not per se an application to join, but you are going through like in the spring semester, so of your first year, there is the investigative reporting, how to pitch an investigative story class, and that class with the director of the investigative reporting program, David Barstow, it's open to anyone. Really, the only thing that's capping it is capacity. If there's a lot of demand or if there's not too much. But with that program, that can get you the step into the door into our investigative reporting program, where then if you're working on a long-term project with the IRP, or if you are pitching your own story to them or working on someone else's story, that's how you get involved with the investigative reporting part of the J school. It's not like a track where you choose multimedia or you choose IRP. It's like what I said a little bit earlier. You choose your track. So let's say you do audio, and then you eventually say, okay, I want to focus in more on investigative reporting in as the content for my audio clips. All right. Sophia, did you want to ask your question?
Hi everyone. Thanks so much for your time today. I have a question mainly for Sarah because I believe you're in the IRP. So one of the main barriers that I run into as an investigative journalist for the Michigan Daily, which is Ann Arbor's city paper, is constraints with like FOIA requests and writing appeals for FOIA requests. Because the process is very long and heavily legal. So I was wondering, what does funding look like with your thesis for FOIA requests? Like, do you find that you're able to pay for more expensive FOIA requests? And when those requests are denied, are you able to get support in writing appeals for those FOIA requests?
Yeah, I've also previously worked more in investigative before coming to Berkeley as well. So I totally understand those expensive requests. Um, Unfortunately, like I haven't had a lot of experience yet in IRP since it's my first semester. But with our research methods class, we are given accounts to LexisNexis, which also lets us pull public records. I think we have like a $30 like first like cap that we're allowed to like use, and I think beyond that we're just able to talk to the school. I don't know if Nellie knows anything about this. So I haven't
No,
done
yeah.
I haven't done many requests yet this semester, so I don't know what a lot of that is like capped at, but I know there is like a lot of like support, whether that comes from the J school or the IRP, and they're really supported in that way. So I would definitely say that I don't think that's a barrier um, that you're going to face unless it's like a $2,000, FOIA charge. But I would say that like everyone here has been really supportive with projects and how they're going to be able to push things forward. And there's definitely support to help write appeals. And yeah,
Yeah,
it's great. You should come here.
the IRP is like, I mean, so speaking about the open house info sessions, we will actually have an info session that is solely focused on the IRP. So it'll be Bernice Young, who's the director. It'll be, and she's, I mean, these are very highly professional people that are, have editing experience. They're like they're like leaders in their field. They're very so I mean they'll be speaking alongside alumni that have been hired after graduating from quite a few alumni work in the IRP and our UC Berkeley journalism alum from the last like 2-3 years. So you'll hear from them and they'll talk more. So I think that's a great question to bring to them in that session. So I would definitely recommend registering for that virtual session for the IRP session, and that'll be a 1 hour virtual info session. And then I was gonna say, yeah, that they spend so much time just working on grants and getting all this, just spending so much time to make sure everything's above board. And it's set to the IRP is just, I mean, if you know about the Logan Symposium, that's also heralded by us at UC Berkeley. So there are just so many they're just so professional and they're so good at what they do. And just the types of stories and A1 pieces that come out of the IRP during, the time that they're here with us, UC Berkeley students, it's journalism students, it's just tremendous. So yeah, if investigative is one of your is an area of interest, I would say definitely apply because that's kind of what we're known for here. So, but yeah.
All right. Thank you, Nelly. Did anyone else have a
Oh,
question?
sorry, but one more thing,
Oh,
Sophia. Feel free as well. I put a link to connecting with a current student. So I'm happy to connect you with a year two student that is farther along and kind of everyone here is a first year student, so they're kind of, new and they obviously have recently applied to the UC Berkeley, so they can kind of give you more insights on the application side. But I would say I'm happy to connect you with a year two student, that's farther along and can or even an alumni. So just feel free to make a request there.
all right. Thank you. Yeah. And just watching out for time, I think we have time for one more question. Um, Nasheen?
Hello, hi. Yes, yeah, it's really nice to hear from all of you. I just had, actually a lot of questions. So I wanted to know if I need to have any classes before I apply or while, the session begins. Should I take some journalism courses? I mean, I have my undergrad in mass communications that's considered as undergrad, but I did it from Pakistan when I was in Pakistan. But I just wanted to know if that's going to be enough for me to apply for the graduate program.
Hmm. Go
I
ahead, Sarah.
mean, I mean, I from my like I've been a journalist for about 5 years, but coming into like my first year here at the J school, I would say that having a variety of like different experience that isn't in journalism is always still so great, and not everyone here has had experience in journalism, and I think just like yeah, Andres, and just like and I don't think that is like super important, just as long as like you're passionate about you want to what you want to do, and like that you want to come into journalism. That's like the most important thing. Like there's people who are in political science, or I think one of my friends is was a psych major, so like um we have a wide variety of students who haven't had journalism experience, and your J200 reporting class will really break you into what it's like to report and become a journalist, and that one will get you ready even if you don't have experience.
Sounds good. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Yeah. So as we finish up on today's session, can I ask our panelists, what is one piece of advice that you would give to people who are applying that you wish you knew when you turned in your application? What is that one piece of advice? Or maybe something to demystify to make it like the process a little bit less scary or intimidating. I can go first. So, um, that right, it's okay. The interview portion, it's okay if you record it a lot. You are gonna have a good take, a bad take. Just make a quick little outline for yourself. See what you're gonna write down. What I highly recommend to students is that they kind of make a gel between their statement of purpose and their personal history. That way that the readers can have an understanding of who you are from paper to now a person that they can see. And really focus in on that. Why are you motivated to pursue journalism in that interview? I think that's what would have really helped me out, to make it a little bit less intimidating.
By the interview, just want to clarify, he means the personal video
Yes.
statement. So yeah, just in case, yeah.
Yeah. Thank you for that clarification, Nelly. It's a video that you're turning in. You're not meeting with anyone because of the number of applicants here at the school.
Um, you know what? I've been coming back to this piece of advice for myself, and the one thing that I was pretty hard on, like that I wish I would have known, was give yourself some grace. This is a very, you know, wonderful time to be applying to the grad school, to be thinking about the grad school, and we all have imposter syndrome. Try to block that out your head and just give yourself some grace when you guys are applying and you guys are going through, you're writing your personal history statement, you're writing your statement of purpose, you're doing the video. Just remember that, like, you're here for a reason, you're doing this for a reason, and you're doing this to invest in yourself. And that's the advice that, that I've didn't hear, but I heard once I got in. And just, it's all about giving yourself some grace here.
Thank you, Marquise. Haiti?
Yeah, I would also kind of say something along the lines of what Marquis said. It's really okay if you don't have prior experience in journalism. And I feel like, as someone who came out of like their student newspaper, I still kind of felt like I didn't have enough experience. But I feel like as long as you say why you would benefit from going to the J school, like that'll really like help your chances. And I just, yeah, like it's like Andres was saying, like he didn't have any prior experience coming here. A lot of people don't, but you get here and you realize that everybody's like very supportive of each other, and so you'll gain that from when you get here.
I would say I remember like having being in this webinar is kind of making me stressed out, remembering how stressed out I was like a year ago this time. But really take your time on like your application. I know people are like turn it in, turn it in now, but I think I applied like 2 days before like the first priority deadline, and I really spent my time like looking. I'm here, Andreas. Like I got it. But I really spent my time on my essays, and just like I had a lot of my friends look over my writing. I had a lot of my professors to make sure like it seemed representative of me, and like this application was truly me. So take your time. I say take your time. I'm not speaking for everyone here. But yeah, I think the application process here is very holistic, and you can reach out anytime when you have questions. So, yeah.
Yeah, just to add to Sarah's kind of comment about, so there is no you know, it's not like a rolling deadline, so there's no additional consideration if you like submit a completed application now versus before, December 1st. So, I mean, I definitely agree, like try to complete your application as soon as possible because, we may realize that something is missing or, you're still waiting on letters of rec. So obviously it's best to not wait till the last moment to, submit that application. But again, feel free to take the time that you need to feel confident in your application, as Sarah's saying. So yeah, and make sure that it's representative of you and your qualities um, and journalism. A lot of that is what qualities show demonstrate your journalistic storytelling abilities, right? So that's why when we ask for work samples, we ask for really samples of your writing, right? At least one of those be a nonfiction sample of writing. And so that can be academic research papers, right? It doesn't need to be published work. You don't need to have worked for a journalism newspaper. Obviously, that may be like there may be experiences that are lend more to your abilities to be in the journalism field because you've had those more related experiences, but we're not going to penalize people for not having that a specific background either. So yeah, again, a holistic application review is really important for faculty and the admissions committee reviewing your application. So yeah, just take your time and yeah, let us know if you have questions. Andres is one of the J peers. So if you do have questions that are application related, how to best package, this or that, feel free to join the drop-in admissions office hours, which happen nearly every Friday morning. And yeah, or email the admissions office JPeers directly at the jpeers_admissions@berkeley.edu. If you have questions about, whether it's an application fee waiver or something that's more related to kind of specifics of the admissions process, or missing information, or if you're a reapplicant, you are planning to reapply, then you would email me because I would kind of have access to all of that data. But yeah, so either way, you can feel free to email both of us as well. So yeah.
Yeah. So thank you. Yeah. And once again, we're here for you. Take your time. I'm only kidding with Sarah, but like it is just a reminder that logistically, with at least your recommenders, have them turn it in early. Because everything by that deadline, so December 16th at 8:59 p.m., everything in that package has to be turned in. It can't be like, oh, I'm still waiting on my recommenders and they come out like on the 17th, like turn it in then. Have everything has to be done before that December 16th at 8:59 p.m. Pacific time deadline. So that's what I really want people to understand is like earlier the better, yes, but take your time with it, really make it feel like it's you. And yeah, with that, thank you everyone for being here with us. Marquise, Sarah, Haiti, thank you especially for participating. They all have their reporting that they're doing. Sarah just did her story about anime and Bart. Marquise just did one that came out today with Oakland North about the legacy of the Oakland A's. And Haiti, do you have anything that you want to plug?
There's something in the works about Oakland students being able to vote soon. So, yeah.
Yeah. And I'm working on two stories, one about ferry boats going to heaven and another one about bus shelters. So thank you with that, everyone. We are here, like Nelly said, on Fridays. If not all Fridays, most Fridays to be there for as a support. So yeah, enjoy and have a good one, everyone. Take care.
Yeah. Thank you everyone for joining us.
Cool.
Have a great
Thanks,
rest of the week.
everybody.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you, guys.
Okay.